Good morning and happy Memorial Day. Hope all of you are doing well. Just had some wonderful conversations with some people who just sent me some, some well wishes for today. Today is very important to me as a veteran and a serviceman. I, view Memorial Day extremely differently than a lot of people because there's people who I know who served who are not with us anymore. There's people who I know who did pass away. And so this day is very important to me. I've had family members who served in the military, from my great-grandfather who served in World War I, to my own father who served in Vietnam, as well as distant relations who served in other various conflicts as well. So today is very important to me. And I hope all of you are at least going to be good. And, I hope all of you are doing well. By the way, we got a super chat of the day. Back from the road again. Hey, how you doing? Back from the road. There you go. It's been a while since I caught the show in person. New job, new hours. Been catching clips. Just wanted to say thanks for the show and keep your head up. Well, thank you. I'm doing all I can. And look, I know I did a live stream on Sunday. I know, shout out to Dr. Nick. Dr. Nick, if you're in the chat, I know you managed to catch the ending of the show. So sorry about that if that was the case. But I am a little bit worried about the future of independent media and the censorship wave that is probably coming our way. Am I overthinking it? Probably. Probably I am. But nonetheless, always good to have all of you here. And if you want to help out Hardlands Media, as always, Luis Brooks, I always take time to think of the soldiers I knew who never came home and get angry at our government for sending them to pointless war. Well, Luis Brooks, we love you so much. There you go. There you go. Thank you so much. Everybody, welcome. Hit the like button if you haven't done so. And here's the thing. All right, everybody who's tuning in right now, happy Memorial Day, by the way. Be safe out there, everybody. Please, as a favor from me, just be safe. Here's our Linktree, Peachtree, YouTube, X, Rumble, Kick, Patreon, Substack, Discord, Instagram. Everybody, please consider supporting us there. You want to help us keep the lights on? Patreon is the best way to do so. We are very active. Oh, okay, hold on. We are very active on X. Please consider supporting us on X. And, of course, yes, we are asking help for our GoFundMe. If you haven't done so already, please help us out in our current situation. We do need help for our GoFundMe. So if you haven't done so already, please consider doing so. It'd be ever so nice if you would consider doing that for us. I'm going to be posting or pasting or linking or pinning the GoFundMe link to our YouTube live stream chat. Good to have all of you here. So please consider supporting us in our GoFundMe. And also, let me read off the names of our wonderful patron supporters. Patron supporters, thank you so much. Now, if you can't do any of this, guess what? Number 1, enjoy the show. Number 2, enjoy the show. Number 3, hang out chat. Number 4, share our content on social media. Please take good care of yourselves, folks, and we wish you all the best. So shout out to Abdul Jafari, Adrian Barker, not Baker, Barker, Alfredo G, Alison Swanson, All One, Alfonso Nesbitt Jr., Amanda Gooby, Andrew Meddy, Angie C, Ann Hiller, Apostle Mosley, Ariana Hidson, Artemis LA, Aspen Fallen, we love you, Aubrey and Bobby Eldridge. We got Bernadette Evangelis. We got Black Freud, Bonnie Cartwright, Bonnie Florai, Brian Rothrock, CB Applejack 59, Charles Brown, Cheryl Tony, Cheryl Tyler, Chet's mom, Shutdown Cynic, Christina Sandage. Thank you for all of your generosity and support and kind words. We truly do have nothing but love for everybody in our show. So there you go. Thank you. Just saying thank you. Shout out to you, Christina Sanders, Christopher Kizzy, Sizzy Kizzy, Claude Allen, Claude. Hey, you're named after somebody who's very close to my heart. There you go. Constituent polling, actually 2 people. Constituentpolling.org. Much love to you. Corona Heresy, Deconstructing Topics, Dan Schaffer, Dana Cooper, Dana Fairbanks, ooh la la, MD. We got Daniel Chowell, CL. We got Darren Sweeney, the Cut the Progressive, Desmond Turk, the Lucien. We got Donnie Denique, good to see you. We got Earl Nystrom, Edwin Rodriguez, Elian Johnson, Elliot Grossman, Emily, Emma Beveridge, and Eric Munn. Thank you so much for being Patreon supporters, and that's why we love all of you. But now, something that I want to share with all of you lovely, beautiful, outstanding people. And also I want to give a special shout out to Farja Hassan. Thank you so much for being a good friend and good ally. So thank you so much. I want to give a shout out to him. There you go. Dr. Nick, good to see you, man. Hey, I'm sorry that you missed the live stream yesterday. Hope all is well with you, Dr. Nick. And also special shout out to Bad Cookies. Oh, hey, man, how you doing? Torwin, good to see you. Good to see everybody in the chat. But please, everybody, if you haven't done so already, I believe in fairies. I hope you're safe, and I send my best to you. So please take good care. But now, something a little bit fun. For the morning dump, the anti-bucket list. What's on your anti-bucket list? Well, we actually tweeted this out on Hardlands Media. It was a retweet from Declaration of Memes. But here's what you said. We got donated to Bernie Sanders, a conduit of a horrid DNC. So anti-bucket list. What's something you'll never do again? Donate to Bernie Sanders. Chairman Bessem, vote for Democrat. Mike Unusual, voting Democrat. We got Pete hiking a 4,000-foot mountain with nothing but weed edibles and Fireball whiskey. We were severely misled on the intensity of what we were told was a glorified nature walk while camping. Oh, boy. Sneezing on air, my biggest fear. Never drink too much tequila. Never drink too much tequila. Get drunk for the first time, even though I'm aware that I threw up for the first time in 2 decades. That streak is gone. It happened after me and my father went to Tequila Fest in 2023, participating in any election. I don't think I could say that. I don't think I could say that on the YouTube, Steve Cutler. Jägermeister from Blue Check Beth. We got, oh my goodness, I wish I could start my life over again. Oh, but without high school, it was such a horribly painful, lonely period of my life. I definitely don't want to go through that, through it again. Well, there's a lot of things I wish I could redo again, but we got to push forward. Oh crap, it's endless. I've dedicated my life to doing dumb things normal, proper Homo sapiens frown upon. At the same time, I'm probably the only ape on this rock who walked the battle deck of both an American aircraft carrier and a Chinese one. Ooh la la. Well, that is pretty cat fancy. And now let's go on with the rest of the morning dump. When somebody puts a mannequin in front of an ATM machine.
Don't believe she actually thinks it's real. So basically, that. So basically.
Okay, that's kind of cruel right there. Now, hold on. What the U.S. can learn from Japan. Well, Japan's close to my heart.
What the U.S. can learn from Japan. People waiting patiently, suitcases waiting patiently, trash bags waiting patiently, trash bags with nets to prevent rats. Please learn, New York City. On-time trains, fast trains, reversible seats on trains, barriers to prevent train deaths. Please learn, New York City. Cheap grocery.
And, here's the thing, for the Chicago CTA, look, I know there's a lot of people who want to stick their hands in the door to keep the doors open. Don't do that for the trains, okay? That's how accidents happen. That's how horrible disasters happen. And that's how trains get delayed. You try that in Japan, that door is closing. It doesn't matter if there's a hand in the way. If you have any of your appendages, especially to us men, if you have any appendage out there, that door is going shut. And, well, it's going to suck to be you.
Cheap alcohol, cheap unvandalized vending machines, cheap restaurants with no tipping. Please learn, America. Toilets that greet you, toilets with instructions, toilets that are public and clean. Please learn, America. Competing boy bands versus girl groups, singing microwaves. Creamia, Temple Fest. Hells yeah, Temple Fest. Shoes off in house, shoes off at Temple Fest. Less chance of getting murdered. Please learn.
And look, hey, everywhere has its problems. There's a huge hyperinflation happening in Japan right now, too. And not to mention, look, I've been asked this before because, hey, today's Memorial Day. I'm going to do whatever I want. There is the rise of these nuisance streamers, too, which is also adding a lot of trouble. There's a lot of historic sites that I want to visit, if I ever get the chance to go back to Japan again. And I got to tell you, these criminal nuisance streamers, because I've had people ask me, hey, how come you go live on certain platforms, or why are you talking about criminal nuisance streamers? It's because of the damage that they could do, not only in the online community, but also what they're doing to Americans' reputation overseas. Now, yes, I know America has a bad reputation here and there, but for all of you who want to visit, or maybe you have friends or family members that want to visit and travel overseas, wouldn't it be better if, like, when you pull out your phone, nobody's going to look at you and wonder, oh, are you going to do something stupid? Are you going to graffiti up a historic land site that's 1,000 years old? And yes, that's happened. Yes, there are dumb people out there that will do that kind of stuff. I hate these criminal nuisance streamers. So, Japan's close to my heart. And you know what? Shout out to the Philippines. Also want to give a shout out to Eric Carabera, who is doing some great work in the Philippines. He's working on some more YouTube videos. For those who don't know, I interviewed him a while back, and he was the one who confronted and stood up against Vitelli. So, hey, he's doing some great stuff. So shout out to him. 10 out of 10. Keep doing the great work, Eric. But now, hey, more for the morning dump. He thought he had it. No. No, homie, you missed. No, homie. No, homie. No. You missed. Now, this happened in China, actually. The roof of a 650-year-old drum tower in, I think, Anhui, China, collapsed. It was built during the Ming Dynasty in 1375. This is rather sad, actually. See, now this is rather sad. I mean, I hope this was something that could have been avoided, and this was one just full on negligence. Now, time for some Gatorade. I better see my Gators in the chat. What would you do if this was you?
I'm literally stuck on.
Oh. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, no. Oh, no.
I'm literally stuck on.
Oh, my God. See, now that would make me take a dump, a morning dump. And then finally, folks, listen. Yes, alligators look like dinosaurs, but they are distant cousins, okay? So, yes, dinosaurs and crocodilians and alligators and caimans and garls are part of the group archosaurs, right? I know. Don't write nerd in the chat, okay? But I used to study dino. I wanted to be a paleontologist back in the day. But they're part of that group archosaurs. However, dinosaurs and reptiles, which include crocodilians, are separate species. Their closest living relatives today, the ones that can claim the true descendancy of dinosaurs, are birds. So if you want to know what a dinosaur probably sounded like, it was probably like this, especially the theropods. Actually, somebody asked, it was after you watched Jurassic Park? No, I was a fan of dinosaurs before Jurassic Park. And how did I become a fan of dinosaurs? I hope I don't tear up here. It was on my birthday. My grandpa got me some dinosaur toys when I was a little kid. He said to my mom, no, I think this is important. He should understand about science and, you know, all the big mysteries out there. And I never, as a kid, I didn't know a lot about dinosaurs, but as soon as I had my first T-Rex and Brontosaurus toy, I fell in love. And my grandpa would take me to the Field Museum to see dinosaurs. And I actually had the privilege of being on not one, but 3 different dinosaur expeditions, 2 to Montana and 1 in South Dakota when I was in high school. So there you go. There you go. There we go. That's right. That's right. Absolutely. All right. All right, all right, all right, all right. But now I think it's only fair, my lovelies, my mornings, my sunshines, all of you good, beautiful people out there who are watching Hard Lens Media. I think it's only fair that we do get started now with our first segment of the day. Let's get to it. Let's get started with it. Let's get ready now for our first segment of the day. Shall we? Shall we? All right, so I'm going to combine these 2 stories. All right, it has to deal with third parties. It has to deal with independents. And apparently Cenk Uygur, yeah, that's right, I know, I'm starting your morning off with Cenk because I had to talk about this, was asked about starting a new political party. And here's my concern, okay? Because I've had Larry Sharp on the show, and, you know, we've talked about third parties and independents. And this last election cycle, while third parties and independents did get a lot of coverage, which is great, the downside is that I think a lot of third parties and independents right now are ill prepared, and they need to start building up on their infrastructure, because if they don't, it's going to be more of the same. And I have a fear that that's what we're going to be seeing in not only 2026, but in 2028. So here's Cenk Uygur talking about starting a new political party, because guess what, folks? There's already a lineup for potential runners in 2028 for running for president in the Democrat Party. And you know what? Everyone could talk about a good third party. There was the People's Party. There was the Forward Party started by Andrew Yang. Yes, there's the Greens and Libertarians. And, you know, I want to see the Green Party and Libertarian Party succeed. But my goodness, there's a lot to be desired for. So enough yapping, enough talking. Let's hear what Cenk Uygur has to say, because you know what? I already see this being a complete epic disaster.
I think it makes sense is we need a new party, just like the Federalist, Whig, Bull Moose, and the other parties that got retired. Might be time to retire the Democratic Party, start a new one, maybe launch a meme coin to fund it. LOL. I do like that LOL. But this 26 and 28, let's go and try the populist takeover of the Democratic Party.
You dummy! Did you try that with Justice Democrats? I mean, that was your thing. And then there was also Brand New Congress and Our Revolution and DSA. I mean, come on. It's like sticking a fork in an electrical socket, okay? This is like Homer Simpson, Peter Griffin tactics. Oh, I'm going to stick a fork in an electrical socket, see what happens. Okay, now the thing is, those are cartoon characters. I want to laugh at their stupidity, but this is getting sad. Say that again, Cenk. Say it again. Say it again.
26 and 28. Let's go and try the populist takeover of the Democratic Party. I think taking over one of the parties is easier than starting a new party. And if you say, "Oh no way, one of the major parties can't be taken over," too late. Trump took over the Republican Party.
No, Trump didn't take over the Republican Party. He didn't do it at all. He just walked in with the people. The Republican Party's still the same. It's just now he's got a lot of loyalists around him, but it's still the same political party at the end of the day. You know, that's all it is. Because it could be argued, that the Tea Party took over the Republican Party, or that George Bush Jr., Dick Cheney took over the Republican Party. No, it's still the same thing, baby. Democrat Party, though, you can't reform it. Super delegates. The DNC chair wants good billionaires. The Fight the Oligarchy tour is being fought by the Democrats, or at least by the Democratic establishment. Look what they're trying to do to David Hogg and your rebellion pack. Are you stupid? Hold on, let's rewind that. I'm sorry. And then I'm going to play its full entirety. I'm sorry.
This 26 and 28, let's go and try the populist takeover of the Democratic Party. I think taking over one of the parties is easier than starting a new party. And if you say, "Oh no way, one of the major parties can't be taken over," too late. Trump took over the Republican Party. We all saw it with our own eyes, and he's a moron. So no, I don't.
Especially now.
Yeah, and especially now, exactly right, Jackson. So right now is the perfect time to take over the Democratic Party. Why spend like tens of millions, maybe hundreds of millions of dollars trying to create a new party? And if it doesn't work this time, and they're just like, "No, we're the corporate party, and that's all we'll ever be," then okay, next time around then I'll start working on a third party. But for now, this party's ripe for takeover. RebellionPact.com.
Oh yeah, RebellionPact.com. Oh yeah, Rebellion. Okay, taking over Democratic Party. What do I think? Here's what I think about it.
Here's what I think about it.
Here you go. That's how I feel about it. Okay. That's how I feel about it. That's how I definitely feel about it. And I just want to point this out here again to everybody that's tuning in right now. Back from the road again, I'm going to read your super chat here. Remember, he is funded by the Democrat Party. Sheep herd leading people to failing third parties, then taking over the Dems, and finally back to mainstream Democrats. Absolutely. Thank you again for the super chat. Back from the road again. Hope all of you are doing well. Fool me 5 times, shame on you, right? That's right. And look, here's the big concern here, my lovelies, and that is discussing the potential Democrat senators that are running in 2028 and the people like Cenk who will be cheering them on or trying to bring them on board or telling you that you got to vote Democrat this time. Shout out to Case Study QB.
2028 may seem far off, but Democrats are already thinking about the next presidential primary. Let's be honest, so are we. Despite trying to avoid a 2020 replay where more than 24 Democrats sought the presidential nomination, reports say that at least half a dozen senators are now viewed as potential 2028 candidates by their colleagues and top Democrats on Capitol Hill. Joining us now, politics reporter for Semaphore, Dave Weigel. Dave, can you talk a little bit about how many senators and governors we're talking about here? Because this is a primary.
Oh, Dave Weigel really looks different now. I don't like what he did with his hair. He still has the same mustache, though.
That is expected to be absolutely huge.
More than I expected. My colleague Burgess Everett and I wrote this. I was kind of handling the governors. He was handling the senators. Yeah. And yes, about half a dozen senators. If you've seen a senator taking up the DNC's offer to go to a town hall meeting somewhere in America and talk to voters, that is being read by their colleagues as a possible move towards 2028. Cory Booker's long speech. I keep being precise and not calling it a filibuster, but Cory Booker's vote.
Because the Congress people will jump on you.
Ruben Gallego having his own immigration plan. Amy Klobuchar, who is risen up in the leadership. People who'd run before and were not taken as seriously by Democratic voters when they've nominated Joe Biden. They're all still in the mix, and they're all, to be fair, they're all younger than Joe Biden was when he won the nomination. As much as Democrats don't want an elderly nominee, that has widened the aperture for what Democratic primary voters might consider.
Widens the aperture, but also does it also have the potential flip side of voters saying, well, we saw how that played out. We have concerns about transparency. Is there a Biden shadow cast over this primary, even at this early point?
It's not. When Democrats get asked about this, I asked them about this. They say their voters don't talk about Biden, and they're not wrong. Just talking to Democratic voters at events, at town halls, the most active voters don't want to hear them talk about Biden just yet. There are advantages for candidates who did not go out there in front of cameras and praise him many, many times. And you can tell already who, for example, Josh Shapiro was pretty careful in not going to the camera and saying, no, Joe Biden has no problems. He's able to serve another 4 years. Wes Moore was very good in Maryland of pivoting to say age is not an issue this election. Same thing with J.B. Pritzker. That's emerged more as a credibility hurdle for them talking to reporters. For Democratic voters, they're
all right, let's pause here. Sorry, I mean, I don't get to handle him talking for so much. So first of all, the shadow of Biden, old man Biden, is ever going to be present, okay? Because first of all, you know, we have to remember the people who had defended Joe Biden, it was the entire Democrat Party. I mean, there was only like maybe a handful of people that did challenge Joe Biden, especially during the Democrat primary. And look, folks, before anything else happens, you know, in theory, then they were challenging Joe Biden. You had Marianne Williamson, you had Representative Dean Phillips, the only sitting House representative to actually run, who was in the Democrat Party, run against Joe Biden during the Democrat primary. You had Cenk Uygur, who had no business in the Democrat primary because he can't run for president, but there you go. And then, of course, while at the time you had RFK Jr., and the party made it very clear, it was unified across the board. Everybody, and I do mean everyone, was saying, no, Joe Biden's going to be our nominee. And then as soon as Joe Biden crapped the bed during his infamous failure debate against Donald Trump, everyone went to Kamala, Mamala, Kamala. So that's what happened. That's what happened. And of course, it's not going to bode well. And I want to pull up this video here before we go back to David Weigel, because here's something that all Democrats running in 2028 are going to have to attend to. How much did you know about Joe Biden's mental decline?
If this becomes a political liability, there's almost no senior Democrat in the entire party that is not touched by this. Gavin Newsom, all the top Democrats, there is tape on almost all of them attesting to Biden's acuity, that he is as sharp as ever, that he is on top of it. And if the Trump presidency goes the way that some Democrats believe it will, which is rolling constitutional crises. If the Trump presidency becomes sort of a disaster in Democrats' eyes, I think the anger at people that covered for Biden will become more and more significant, and it will become a factor in the 2028 primary.
Those commercials write themselves. I don't know to what extent it will matter to Democrats. I mean, maybe, as you say, if the Trump presidency continues as it is in the eyes of Democrats, then maybe Democrats will be inflamed as an issue pertaining to this. But for sure, in a general election, you can just see the split screen.
Absolutely. And, some Democrats, Democratic strategists I've talked to have compared this to the Iraq war vote in 2003, where basically almost every senior Democrat voted for the war. And at the time, it was seen as sort of a shrewd, we're going to be hawkish decision. But by 2007, 2008, ended up being actually a political disaster. If Hillary Clinton had not voted the way that she did, she may have very well been president in 2008.
Well, geez Louise. Well, there's a lot of things to say about the failure of Hillary Clinton, okay? First of all, again, huge shout out to Case City QB. I don't know how you sit through it, man. If Hillary Clinton had not voted the way she did, she may very well be president in 2008. No. Hillary Clinton was not. Listen. Sorry to burst your bubble. Vote blue, no matter who. A bird goes tweet and an owl goes who. No, she was never popular. There was no helping Hillary Clinton or the Democrats in 2008. There was no helping Hillary Clinton in 2016. there's just no helping her. And the thing is, Democrats in 2028 are going to have to ask themselves, or either that, a lot of them are going to have to start, you know what? Hey, here's some free advice to Democrats who are going to be running in 2028, to any potential aides or advisors out there. You better come up with a long-term strategy in regards towards how you're going to explain where you stood in 2024 and how much you knew about Biden's mental decline. Because let's be clear, let's be very clear. There might be some Democrats who just, I don't know, don't want to be innocent. Bear with me, who might not have known that Biden was on a full-on mental decline, or is that there was some rumors about it, so they could say like, well, we heard about it, but we just didn't look too much into it, so I just wanted to defeat Trump, because that's the only thing they're going to be able to say. Well, we just wanted to defeat Trump. But the thing is, how much did all of you know? Because you don't want to be like Jake Tapper, and thanks to the internet, there's now a treasure trove of videos out there. Jake Tapper, who is writing a book called Original Sin. But the thing is, Jake Tapper, I mean, how many times did he go to bat for Joe Biden, even though Biden's mental decline was being talked about? And now he's writing a book saying, oh, I can't believe we knew this. So every single Democrat candidate that's going to be running in 2028, that's going to be the question that's going to be asked. I mean, you can't hide from it. And even if corporate media doesn't ask you it during the Democrat primary debates, it's going to be talked about online. It's going to be one of those things that people are going to want to know, like, how much did you know about Joe Biden's mental fitness? Everybody's going to want to know. What did you know? And this will be one of those times where you want to be honest. I mean, kudos to the people who will actually say, well, we actually kind of knew. All right. And you know, there's no way of hiding from that. There's no way from hiding. And yet again, you have people like Cenk Uygur saying, oh, we could reform this party. How could you reform a party that knowingly let a senile old man who not only had prostate cancer that metastasized in his bone run for president? Okay, so there was already problems with Joe Biden. Mental and physical problems. You can't reform a party like this. And if you donate to Rebellion PAC, you know what? Hey, give me your bank account. It's safer in my hand. No, I shouldn't say that. Like, give me your wallet. It's safer than me. I'm gonna reverse mug you. Like, here, give me your wallet. Give me your wallet. It's safer in my hands. No, I'm not gonna take any of your money. Just, you know what? I'm going to prevent you from doing something stupid. Okay? Hey, to my viewing audience, stop your friends from being stupid. Tell them not to donate to Rebellion PAC, okay? Because why? Why would you donate? And even to David Hogg, if David Hogg is someone able to survive the Democrats kicking him out, you know, why would you do this? Look at what they're trying to do. Look at what they're trying to do, and yet this is the problem. All right, now take it away, David.
Very open-minded. They want to see proof that you are effectively resisting Trump. That is easier for some governors than it is for the senators.
I think that's right. And yet we talk about people like Senator Chris Murphy as someone who's doing a good job here in Washington of showing what pushback might look like, even though tangibly speaking, there hasn't been pushback from sitting senators. I mean, they're holding up some nominations and whatnot. Yeah. But I remember when you and I were covering the 2020 primary, it was a primary that felt it really hinged on healthcare policy. Do you think that the party is going to spend time getting that bogged down in the weeds again? I mean, what are you hearing from voters that they want to hear from their nominee as they're looking around for some new ideas?
Oh, it's unsettled, but the policy space is going to be very different in 2028. If Democrat and some Democrats are doomy and they won't even assume they have a normal election. That's something they hear at town halls is voters. And I heard this in Pennsylvania recently. I'm worried there won't be an election in 2028. If there is one, if there are Democrats competing, the idea that you can rush in and spend trillions of dollars and put a national healthcare system in place by breaking filibuster. Some of those ideas from 2020, I think, have diminished because of two things. One, what Trump has done. There's going to be a conversation about rebuilding parts of the federal government. And two, the Biden experience, where Biden did achieve a lot of progressive goals that Democrats saw the limits of. They did not turn, for example, bailing out the Teamsters pensions did not turn the Teamsters into Democratic endorsers. They lost ground with them. Expanding healthcare in the states, that did not create a huge constituency for the ACA. There still isn't one where people are protecting it, but didn't roll over into saying we want further healthcare reform.
Yeah, I think that's a fascinating point to make. To me, I look at this, it's going to be a massive field. I think the DNC is going to have a real job on its hand of figuring out how do you handle that many people and trying to give everyone a fair shot and a fair
Yeah, I know exactly how the DNC is going to handle that. Okay, and Cenk Uygur will definitely be telling all of you, "Oh, we could definitely have a progressive in office." Blah, 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 blah. Look, here's a big takeaway. I don't know. I honestly can't predict the future. What's going to happen with independent media? Who knows if any of us are going to be here? Okay. And I know, like I'm being very serious here. I am deeply concerned about the future of free speech, independent media, how politics is going to be covered not only on YouTube but on X, Instagram, Facebook, Rumble, Kick, all that jazz. I'm going to need a vacation on a long sabbatical, maybe. I don't know. But you can't reform the Democrat Party. And look, before anyone says, "Oh, well, Trump took over the Republican Party," it could be argued maybe he did, but it's still the same Republican Party. All right, that's all it is. It's playing the game. I mean, Thomas Massie said, "Hey, a lot of his colleagues in the Republican Party and his colleagues in the Democrat Party, shocker, have AIPAC babysitters." Okay, this is the truth of it. Okay, this is the severe truth of politics. And that's the truth of it, okay? At least I could say in defense of the Republican Party, and I know, hold out for this, at least they don't have super delegates, which is a fantastic thing. But my God, I mean, if that's the standard we're at, oh, we are definitely lost because you can't reform the Democrats, like I said before. You know, and right now there's 3 different groups. You got David Hogg, who will probably get kicked out from the DNC chair. You have Cenk Uygur and Rebellion PAC. Don't give money to Rebellion PAC. Please save your money. And then there's Fight the Oligarchy Tour, which in its defense, I know, hear me out, is at least able to draw in large crowds, but you can't reform something that is still willing letting an old man who's mentally down and has prostate cancer run for president. You can't reform that. And then as for third parties, now this is going to hurt because on this show, I've talked about third parties. All right. I've gone on the record on it. But if I don't say this now, then I'm not being honest with you, my audience. I do believe in third parties. I do believe in independence. And I think they really lost the opportunity to really build something strong in 2016, okay? I mean, you just can't wait every 4 years. And I know. It costs money and there's leadership. But the thing is, you got to try and really get your act together. All right. And I say this to the Libertarian Party. I'm saying this to the Green Party. I'm saying this to all independents. You got to get your act together because, you know, Misty Winston's right. We can't vote our way out of this. All right. Now, I want to see third parties succeed. But if you guys and gals aren't going to be building up your infrastructure, and I wouldn't bet it all on running for president, but you got to start doing more community outreach. You got to start going on more shows. And you even got to start building a stronger online presence. And yes, doing more at protests, rallies, events, and fighting for citizen ballot initiatives, because this is what you got to do. All right. I think these next 2 election cycles, I fear we're going to see click, copy, paste. There might be some differences here and there. But to anyone now, for the new generation, don't fall for this whole idea of, okay, let's vote for the Democrats, let's vote for the Republicans, because you know you're going to get screwed up the wazoo again. With that being said, we got a couple of super chats here. Let me acknowledge this. Memorial Day anti-bucket list number 1 is definitely going to the retention NCO ever again or re-enlisting. Back from the road again. Thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, taxi graveyard music. Hi all. There you go. We got Commercial Herschel. We got Tired of the Lies. We got all these people here. There you go. We got what else we got here? We got Trans Gemini. Good to see you. Good to see you, Trans Gemini. Good to see everyone here. There you go. Good to see all the good people out here. Much love to all of you. So now I think it's only fair. My love is my mornings, my sunshines. That we do get started now. It's our next segment of the day. Shall we? Let's do this. Oh no, the Democrats seek to find the next Joe Rogan. Can they even stomach the next Joe Rogan? I know, Democrats looking for the next Joe Rogan. You had Joe Rogan. It was Joe Rogan. Anyways, Shout out to Case Study QB. Follow him on all of his social medias. He's doing some good stuff. I know. They're looking for Joe Rogan.
All right, there's no doubt that podcasts and influencers played a pivotal role in shaping the 2024 election. Shows like the Joe Rogan Experience certainly helped Donald Trump and Republicans connect with millions of Americans, including key swing state voters and younger audiences. And now Democrats are looking to replicate that model. According to the New York Times, liberal strategists are pushing the party's rich backers to help assemble an army of left-leaning online influencers to create their own podcast empire. But as the Time notes, right-leaning touchstones like Rogan's podcast were not built by political donors and did not rise overnight. So can the party really podcast their way back into power? What do you think of that line?
Oh, God. Look, I know I did a video segment with Tim Dillon schooling CNN. Can I just be honest with all of you people here that are watching right now? Everybody that's tuning in right now, listen to me and listen to me well, you lovely, beautiful people out there in the ether, in the space. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. All right. Yes, there's a new wave of media. But see, there's a reason why Trump was able to succeed as much as he did, because yes, there is a new online media space. But the Democrats could have taken advantage of it too if they wanted to, but they chose not to. And remember, you know, as much as you have Democrats crapping on Joe Rogan, which they did a lot of, especially during the 4 years under the Biden-Harris administration, I mean, instead of just constantly bullying and harassing and constantly smearing, slandering, all that kind of stuff, you know, they could have just, you know, let go and just be like, all right, well, he has the most popular podcast. Let's show up on a show. I mean, really, you catch more flies with honey than with vinegar. But you just can't create something and then assume that, oh, it's going to just be for you, because that's what MSNBC and CNN and ABC, CBS, that's the New York Times. I mean, come on. They're all for the Democrats, right? I mean, constantly they were buttering up and wanting to have full access to the Democrat Party. It's not about, you know, hoping to get a Joe Rogan again. It's just more of, you know, your messaging really sucks, Democrats. And Kamala, she did have the opportunity to go on the Joe Rogan show, and she farted it away.
Podcast the way back into power was powerful.
Yeah,
powerful line.
A lot of them. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah, Jason is back with us. So first of all, give us this. First, I mean, your take on this theory that somehow if you had the right podcast, it would have landed better. Voters would have reacted differently. Because I'm old enough to remember Joe Rogan coming out in support of Bernie Sanders.
I know.
When the Democratic Party was like, we don't want to have anything to do with Bernie Sanders. If they would have at the time said, okay, let's see what this populist message is, and if it does resonate with voters, maybe Joe Rogan today would be
right. The Joe Rogan of the left.
The Joe Rogan of the left.
They had
He. God, they're so stupid.
the Joe Rogan of the left.
Yeah.
He endorsed Bernie, but it's a little weird to try and reverse engineer it this way.
Right.
And I'm not saying I don't want somebody to give me lots of money. I want.
You know what? That reminds me. Shout out to Mastermind Hour. They'll just make an AI Rogan and tint him yellow. You know what they're gonna do? You know what they're gonna do, Mastermind? It's gonna be like that episode of Black Mirror where there was a guy who created a AI character, like a VR kind of person, and then it later became like the prime minister of the country. Yeah, that's what we're gonna see. We're gonna see that. We're gonna see that. All right. That's what we're gonna get. That's what we're definitely gonna get.
Somebody, I have a podcast.
You'd accept the job.
I would accept it. I would accept it. But it's a little weird to reverse engineer it. It's like kind of like you want to write a book, but you make a movie of it first to write the book.
Right.
It's like not the natural order
Yeah.
things a little bit. I do understand wanting to right some of the wrongs from 2024.
Yeah.
Because 2024, I mean, one, there was Joe Biden.
That Tony wants to be the new Joe Rogan. Well, you know what? Cenk had the opportunity, okay? He had his own separate opportunity. Like I said, folks, I think there's going to be a big change very soon.
Biden as president, who was not doing interviews with traditional media and certainly was not like sitting down for podcasts.
Yeah.
And then Harris was in there with a very small campaign where she had time to run it, and it kind of became a world where these people were not even thinking about sitting down. That was the Democratic Party. And I understand the impulse. You want to like get a little bit younger. You want to seem a little bit younger. But if you are 24 years old right now and you are maybe voted in the first election, this last election, your only idea of Democrats is Joe Biden. Like the two presidents you kind of remember now or were engaged in during the time they were in office were Trump and Joe Biden. And Joe Biden is not a young president. He does not seem young. He's not engaging to young viewers and listeners. So it is a very weird position that the Democrats find.
Do you think they even have the stomach for it, though? I mean, what it actually requires to allow someone to be successful in that platform? Because while Joe Rogan may now be, aligned with much of the right, he actually disagrees with them on plenty of issues still. Right. And he's not.
Stop saying that he's aligned to the right. You know what? Because remember, who attacked him for the past 4 years? Okay. Now, look, I've actually had this conversation with you, my audience. Has Joe Rogan changed? And I would say, yes, he has. And there's some other things which he hasn't changed on. But, if you're constantly being called right wing or Trump supporter, all this, because I've been called right wing. I've been called a Trump supporter, even though I support third parties and independents. It gets to you. It really does. I mean, I'll never forget. I think it was two years ago. I had a Trump supporter who watches the show. I'll keep them anonymous. Who said, "Hey, how come all these communists hate you, or these liberals hate you?" And I'm like, I don't know anymore. It's just like it's interesting because as soon as you criticize it, especially way early on when you criticize the Democrat Party, you were a villain, and you still are. And you know what? It does get to you. It really does. And, even I, way back in the day, in 2020 and even in 2018, I thought it was possible for the Justice Democrats to reform the Democrat Party. Yeah, I know. I was that naive. I'm sorry. I apologize. I was wrong. And even I thought in 2020, Bernie Sanders would be ready for that election cycle. I was wrong. I was horribly, horribly wrong. And there's nothing I could say or do to ever rectify that, or just, actually there is, just not vote Democrat. There you go. But that's what happened. So, can the Democrats really stand criticism? The answer is no. Follow the orders.
Not controlled by, like, the RNC is not like giving him talking points before all his guests come on. And
same with others, like Theo Vaughn as well. He's not.
The DNC does not have the best history of letting parts of their faction like come forward and speak very freely. I just don't see them being comfortable having someone who's going to take risks in that platform that very much requires you to be authentic and willing to take risks.
Right. We need an authentic voice that's going to become popular organically, and we need to control them. That's that's not a good way.
I don't know. Like Bill Maher exists. He
oh my God
was associated with Democrats. He has effectively been ejected from the Democratic Party.
No, he is not. He has taken himself out of it.
Yeah,
He's
I think
not been
he
ejected.
hit the button.
He wants to get out of it. Look, and people.
He wasn't taking talking points from the Democrats.
He was not taking talking points from him, and Democrats still go on Bill Maher's show, so he still retains his position within certain Democratic circles. But he's the one that is
influential. He has a huge audience still.
I don't think he speaks to the base of where the Democratic Party is. And again, it's not a comparison of like who's the next Joe Rogan or not. I think the point is there a populist voice out there among Democrats that the party is willing to tolerate if they don't agree with him or with her on majority of issues.
No.
And that's the short answer. The short answer is
kind of, yeah.
I agree with you.
That's the problem that Democrats face, on a daily basis.
I mean, the one other thing I wonder about is that to the extent that these particular voices we're talking about have organically risen, there actually has been a concerted effort on the right to try to influence cultural values. I think Steve Bannon himself has said that political values are downstream of culture.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, it's like, to what extent should we actually credit any of that with the rise of all of these super?
It does. Sounds extremely suspicious. Suspicious. And you know what? I view it to be as suspicious because it is suspicious to me. Okay. It does sound sus. So I don't know if I could sit down and listen to any more of that crap before I bang my head against a brick wall. I need a vacation. Because I just know how 2026 and 2028 will play out. It's going to be more of the same. It's going to be more of the bull. It's going to be more of the shite. And it's going to be more of the crap. And I, as someone who's been covering so many elections, know, who's talked about, who has collaborated with a lot of great content creators, I see the writing on the wall, and that is the Democrat Party won't accept criticism. They want everyone to shut up and follow orders. Follow the orders and obey. Do not question anything. Shut up, obey, and be subservient. That's what you have to do now. You can't create a Joe Rogan of the left. It has to come up organically. And the thing is, there have been organic independent media networks that have risen up. But yet now they're being censored and suppressed on all social media platforms. And I'm even include those on the right and libertarians too. They have also been suppressed. So you want to know why there isn't a large organic voice that, and here's the thing, even if it's manufactured, people, I like to think that people are now a little bit more self-aware to see a industry plant. Again, you know, people do fall for it though. You know, not a lot, even this day and age, there's not a lot of people who are fully literate. And and the thing is, when it comes down to politics, this is a very kind of niche area. You know, the vast majority of people are just trying to live their lives. And a lot of people could get suckered in by it, but I like to think that maybe now people are kind of becoming more literate, maybe. But, you know, you can't create something. It's got to start small. This can't be just gigantic with, like, you know, 8 to 20 cameras. It's got to be real. So, you know, Democrats, you did have your Joe Rogan. It was Joe Rogan. What's it like now that you realize that you crapped the bed and everyone's looking at you? With that being said, look at all the people here. We got a super chat here from Bob Lablaw 123. My theory must be 4 parties % like cells. Okay. Okay. Thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated. Much obliged. Hey, no sound bites allowed. Semper Fi and happy Memorial Day to you, my fellow Marine. There you go. Same thing for Larry Sharp. Yeah. So there you go. Love bomb. Let's see. Hold on. Love bombing is horrible. Yes, it is. Yes, it is indeed. Never love bomb. Okay. Never love bomb. Don't ever do a love bomb. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't ever be a love bomber. It's not good. Also, I want to give a huge shout out to somebody here. So for those of you, oops. Let me go ahead and just give a shout out to somebody here. Let's see. So first of all, I want to give a shout out to somebody. Okay. So first of all, I think it's the right thing to do. It's the one thing to do. So happy Memorial Day. And I guess on this day, you might remember I did a YouTube video with Sailing with Phoenix. This is the young man who quit his corporate job and sailed from Oregon all the way to Hawaii, which is, again, not for the faint of heart. I have to say he's very brave, very courageous. And, you know, I got to give him a full-on salute. So he actually made it. He made it to Hawaii. Look, he did it. Dear corporate America, I won. Hardlens Media, we just wrote congratulations. One person wrote, so happy to see the world made the right person famous finally. Good for him. And making landfall on effing Memorial Day weekend is big time boss move, bro. So there you go. One person wrote, well done, Oliver. I'm so very proud of you. Now your mom can relax a bit as I've been a nervous wreck. I need a few months to recover before you start again on your next adventure. To which I have to say, hey, dude, enjoy Hawaii. There you go. Here's what happened here. Landfall, Hawaii. What a journey, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Following your adventure with Phoenix has been nothing short of but awe-inspiring. From battling rudder failure in heavy seas to managing unexpected fame 1,000 miles from civilization, your grit and determination never wavered. You've done more than cross an ocean. You've inspired millions to rethink what freedom truly means. A quiet rebellion. I have a feeling this is just the beginning. Sail on, brother. Marcus. P.S. Some of you might have heard Oliver mention that I'm a filmmaker, and from day one, I've dreamed of making a documentary about him to help him bring that dream to life. I've created some merch. Oh, okay, great. Good for him. And hey, whoa, what's going on here? He's here. There he is. Oh, he's eating some good food, as you should. There you go. Well done, buddy. Well done. You made it. Well done. What a great journey. What a great journey. He did it. Good for him. I'm happy for him. And there's his boat. There's people there wanting to reach out to him, talk to him. And there he goes. He's at the yacht club. So you know what? All the best to you, sailing with Phoenix. All the best to you on your journey. We here at Hard Lens Media give you a full-on salute because what you did is something that not a lot of people have the heart to do or the courage to do, but you did it, and I think that's great. So 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Good stuff. And and then look, I think it's something we all want to inspire to live life to our fullest. To enjoy life and to I don't know, just to live. I think that's what we all want to do. We just want to live, people. Live, love, and enjoy life, because we're not here for a long time. We're only here for a short amount of time, and then poof, we're gone. Just like that. So well done sailing with Phoenix. Oliver, you chased the dream. You landed in Hawaii, and I like to think that maybe I could do that, but I don't know. Maybe someday, just not today. That being said, see, we're having fun. Okay. With that being said, let's see. Metal Mouse says, Kit, you are awesome. No, I'm not. I appreciate the compliment and love. I'm just like anybody else, okay? I got my mistakes. I got my problems. I am just a regular guy, just like anybody else. There you go. But now, I think it's like fair that we do get started. Now it's our next segment of the day. Shall we? Let's do it. Okay, Disney is suing YouTube. Disney sues YouTube to stop its biggest secrets from being leaked. Well, unzip your pants, because here you go. There's leakage happening. All right, I shouldn't be saying that stuff, but let's go ahead and talk about it. All right. Let's go ahead and talk about this. So first of all, Disney sues YouTube to stop its biggest secrets from being leaked. Disney has filed a lawsuit against YouTube after the Google-owned platform poached one of its top executives, fearing he will leak confidential information. Okay, well, then have him sign an NDA. In May, Justin Connolly resigned from his position as Disney Entertainment's president of platform distribution and looked to sign with YouTube. Connolly was responsible for bringing Disney TV's networks to providers and overseeing contract agreements to bring Disney's content, such as movies, to streaming services. Disney claims that Connolly has signed a deal with them to keep him with the company until 2027 and was barred from engaging in dealings with competitors, something that would prevent him from joining the YouTube. Already getting a headache, second-degree headache. Disney fears top executive will leak. Unzip your pants. There you go. As reported by C21, Disney filed a lawsuit in the state court in Los Angeles to stop the appointment, alleging a breach of contract, torturous interference with contractual relations, and unfair competition. According to Bloomberg, Connolly was set to join YouTube as part of a new position at the company, where he would be in charge of the platform's relationship with major media companies and growing the service's live sports portfolio. Disney reportedly fears that Connolly could reveal confidential information or their trade secrets. The company distribution deal with YouTube TV expires in the fall, of Connolly's inside knowledge could put Disney at a disadvantage in the upcoming negotiations. Connolly has intimate knowledge of Disney's other distribution deals, the financial details concerning Disney's content being licensed to YouTube, and Disney negotiation strategies, both in general and in particular with respect to YouTube. Disney lawyer Kevin Gott said in a complaint, it would be extremely prejudicial to Disney for Connolly to breach the contract which he negotiated just a few months ago and switch teams when Disney is working on a new licensing deal with the company that is trying to poach him. The lawsuit comes as YouTube is setting viewership records. In March, the platform accounted for nearly 12% of all TV watched, beating out streaming services like Netflix, Prime Video, and Disney Plus. Because here's the thing about YouTube, it is very, 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 very popular with a lot of people. All right. So look, I know there's Rumble, I know there's Kick, I know there's Twitch, I know there's Rockfin and Odyssey, but to be very clear here, YouTube is the heavyweight champion right now. And however which way you feel about it, it is the sign of the times. I mean, who remembers the very first time YouTube came up in our conversations? I mean, YouTube is fairly brand new in the world of content creation and so much more. But I will say this to all of you that are watching. This is going to be a very interesting fight because it's going to talk about the future of free speech, independent media, and more importantly, the role that the online streaming services will play in the future. So I'd be watching this case. And of course, this is a battle between CEOs and corporate executives. So there's going to be some degree of all of us being affected by this in one form or another. So everyone keep your head on a swivel as things get more and more intense. But grab the popcorn. We're going to watch corporations fight each other. Isn't that grand? With that being said, let's see. Hold on. Sunny Day says, I remember when YouTube when commercials didn't happen. I know. I remember too. Okay, I remember too. I remember when having steak for dinner today, as you should, Lawrence Fine, as you should. There you go. But also, we did get a YouTube super chat from Eric Hoos, tipped $1 on Rumble. So will Fat Tony be the new shit lib Rogan? Probably so. Eric Hoos again. The Cackle podcast was Kamala, the authentic organic Democrat. Thank you for the $3 Rumble rants. We do appreciate it always, everything, all the time, every time. And also, hey, shout out to my Kick people. Shout out to my Rumble people. And of course, shout out to my YouTube people. There you go. Look at all you people. There you go. Much love to all of you. Shout out to you guys and gals. Let's see. Shout out to my Kick people. Kick. And of course, shout out to my ex people too. So love, nothing but love for this audience, nothing but love for this community. But also, we got some breaking news here. And who's messaging me now? Hold on. Let's see what's going on. Let's see. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what's going on. Let's see. That's okay. I have a friend reaching out to me. Hold on. Live on air. Live. All right, there you go. Live and direct. Hold on. Nothing but love for the community. Nothing but love. But now, hold on. I'm gonna treat this as breaking news. Breaking news indeed, as I should. So let's go ahead. We got some breaking news. Breaking news. Okay, folks. We got ourselves a little situation in the great state of Hawaii. Everybody that's watching right now, Hawaii's Kilauea volcano just erupted in spectacular fashion on Sunday with lava fountains exceeding 1,000 feet in the air. So to our friend sailing with Phoenix, Oliver. I hope you're nowhere near the volcano area. Please be safe wherever you're at, buddy. Because, hey, everybody, this is what we got here. It's incredible, the power of nature. I like this ominous music right here that's just like, oh, spooky. So here's from the local Hawaiian news source right here too, just to throw this out here so everyone can see it, because I think it's only fair that we do have it here from the local media. But here, let's go and play this.
Mounting is underway at Kilauea, marking the start of episode 23. Here's a live look from the Halemaumau crater, where the USGS says lava fountaining reached over 1,000 feet earlier this evening. The latest episode of the ongoing eruption started just after 4 this afternoon. This is what it looked like when the fountaining was at its peak earlier today. Scientists at Hawaiian Volcano Observatory say the higher fountains are coming from the north vent in Halemaumau crater. Meanwhile, lava venting from the south vent reached up to 230 feet. This current on and off eruption began on December 23rd. The last episode was on May 16th and lasted about 10 hours.
So that's an incredible force of nature right there. So for everyone that's tuning in right now, definitely I'm hoping that all the people in the great state of Hawaii are going to be safe. Don't want any harm or pain to come to anyone. Right now, the volcano also released eruptive plume that reached, at least correction now, not 1,000 feet, but now 5,000 feet. The observatory said that plume included ash, volcanic rock, and volcanic glass shards as well. The observatory warned that these volcanic fragments can be hazardous to people. Oh, you think? Especially when carried by the wind, and said that residents and visitors in the area should exercise caution. Look, hey, maybe this is me. Now, look, I'm going to run away. And Kit Cabello heroically ran away. Yes, running away the other way as fast as I can. Because when you see a force in nature like that, I'm not going to walk towards it. I'm going to be like, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to run away. And I think that's perfect. Hey, that's perfectly fine with me. Sometimes running away is the best choice you can do, period. No debate, no conversation. I think it's just a correct action to do. Continuing on, Kilauea is one of the 6 active volcanoes in Hawaii and is located on the state's Big Island in Hawaii Volcanoes National Park, about 200 miles from Honolulu. It is one of the world's most active volcanoes, emitting lava fountains frequently since December 2024. The episodes have ranged from hours to days. Tourists have flocked to see the spectacle. I would not be going there. And again, the United States Geological Survey also offers multiple YouTube live streams of the volcanic activity. So, again, just be safe out there. There's right now a whole treasure trove of videos on social media indicating this volcano is erupting. To our Hawaiian audience out there, especially on the Big Island of Hawaii, be safe, keep your heads on a swivel, drink water, and more importantly, check out the volcano after it's done erupting, or watch it safely from home on a smartphone or on a computer or on a laptop, whatever you got to do. But here's hoping that nothing else intensifies and that that things just go well. I'm pretty sure it's an overwhelming power of nature. And for those who are there at the site just to take photos or videos, you're braver than me. Just be safe. With that being said, look at everybody here that's tuning in. Now hit the like button. If you can't do that already, please do that. Do that already. Matt says, at least Oprah will start a charity and then ask the residents for money, but she won't donate. Yes, donate to this charity. But aren't you rich? Yeah. Donate to the charity. But aren't you rich? Donate to the charity. But aren't you rich? Shut up, poor people. Shut up, poor people. Shut up, everybody. If you're poor, you better donate to the charity or else. But now let's go ahead and get started now with the. Let's see. Hold on. Gray Walker joined third party was the comment of the day. Watching volcanoes is why God made video streaming. Absolutely. Absolutely indeed. So there you go. And Oprah's like a billionaire, right? Yes, she is. Yeah, yes, she is. Sunny Day. Thank you so much. And look, again, thank you guys for the kind words. Look, I'm just average. I'm a regular person like anybody else. I've got my own fair share of problems. I do appreciate. Let's see. Eric Hoos, the volcano wants a human sacrifice. No, let's not start doing that. We're not going to be doing no human sacrifices to the volcano gods. Okay, there you go. And hold on. Oh my God. Wow. Phil Robinson from Duck Dynasty. Dr. Nick just informed me of this. He died today. Phil Robinson, the patriarch of the Duck Dynasty family, 79. Oh. He was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. He was born April 24th, 1946. Died yesterday. Oh, May 25th, 2025. Well, look, as somebody who's had family members fight dementia and Alzheimer's, I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry to the Robertson family, you know. Condolences to the family, okay? I'm very, very, very sorry for your loss. 79 years old. Alzheimer's is a very serious disease. And what it does to a person mentally and physically, it's not an easy thing to watch. I am very sorry. Condolences to the family. Thank you, Dr. Nick, for informing me about this. Damn. I'm very, 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 very sorry. Okay. So, yeah. Damn. It's very sad. Very sad. All right. Let's see. Lawrence Johnson left this world to find a better one. William Charles, 79 is a good run. We should all be so lucky. My grandmother made it to 90. My Uncle Bernie made it to 92. My grandpa made it to 95. My great-grandmother made it to 98, and my great-grandpa made it to 97. I'm thinking a lot about life right now, folks. Peace, love. I'm thinking about a lot of things. I'm really thinking about a lot of things. And you want to do me a favor this Memorial Day? After the show, go outside, touch grass, and be with the people you love. Or if not, reach out to them via text message or phone call. Believe you me, it does wonders. You want to do that favor for me? I don't care. I don't care what else you do. Even if you hate this show, do me a favor. All the trolls, all the supporters, all the lovers, all the haters, all the busters and players, make some time to be with the people you care about, or give yourself some self-love. All right? Trust me on it. It's going to do you some wonders. If anything else, do that favor for me. Life is short. It is precious. And we all have an expiration date, me included. Don't go before your time is up. Make every minute count. I had somebody recently just message me, hey, you're an uncle again, aren't you? And I said, yes, I am. Do that favor for me. I'm very sorry to the Robinson family. I understand your pain. I hope all of you proceed forward and live life. That goes for everyone, okay? All right. All right, do that favor for me. You're going to do that favor for me. Jacqueline, Jack H, you know what? Look, I'm going to correct you here. I'm going to correct you here. Smart, Kit, smart. You know what? No. I learned this lesson very harshly. I'm not smart. No, I'm not. I'm not great. I'm not awesome. I'm just a regular guy who likes to talk about politics, okay? There's nothing. Okay? I put my pants on just like all of you. And just because I said pants, okay? Pants, just like everybody else. You want to do me a favor? Guess what? Be better. Be best. Do that favor for me. I touched, as you should, mastermind. There you go. Let's see. Let's see. And Danny, well, you just saw me pull out the pants, so there you go. I'm not smart, Jackie. I'm just a regular guy. I'm a regular guy, okay? There you go. There you go. Pants check. There you go. Pants, pants, pants. Yes, hot legs meet you. There you go. There you go, okay? CG. I wish they were, but they're not lottery pants. They're not lottery pants, okay? There you go. All right, but now let's go ahead and move on to our next segment of the day, shall we? Let's do this. All right, so this is going to be a different type of segment. And I don't know what to really take away from this story, but there's a lot, and many of you might just be laughing about it. So you might know the channel called Surrounded, where one person is facing off against 20 people of the different spectrum. Now, look, I would never subjugate myself to this because, you know, I'm not one of those people who wants to say, oh, I'm going to change your mind or I'm going to own 20 people. Like, look, I'm one of those people where it's like, okay, if I'm having a conversation with libertarians or Trump supporters, and yes, even liberals or anybody else in between, communists, socialists, anarchists, whatever, I at least want to hear your perspective. I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm going to change your mind, so shut up. No, I want to hear you. I want to hear your side. Okay, you're not going to change my mind, but I will consider, oh, that's an interesting perspective. But Jordan Peterson seemed to have stepped in it or not. And so I'll have all you decide what's going on here. I'll have all of you decide what is going on. There's a little bit more. There's a little bit more here. There's a little bit more. Everyone. Calm down. Just calm yourself down. All right. We got one more video. Yeah, let's talk about this here for a second, because you know, none of us are perfect. None of us are. But the reason why I wanted to play, somebody has said in one form or another, in some iteration, and I'm just going to give these two examples. If I was alive during the Civil War era, I would have helped the Underground Railroad. If I was alive during World War II, I would have helped the Jews hide from the Nazis. You've heard it. You've heard it. You've heard it before. I know all of you have. You can't lie about this one. And no sound bites. You know, man, I like Star Trek. Absolutely. Mike, well done. Well done with a good reference here. Well done. Well done. Well done. Well done was a good reference. Interesting. Interesting conversation here about faith, about lies, about confronting, about hypothetical scenarios. And so the thing is, the reason why I wanted to play this video is because I did find it interesting that Jordan Peterson was engaging in these conversations, and that he was being challenged critically. But it's just, it's just this whole concept of, okay, where do you stand on these issues, and where do you as a person speak out? Like where do you stand on certain mindsets, on certain policies, on certain ideas, And of course there's a lot of people who have been challenging Jordan Peterson. I mean, come on, this is one of those gotcha kind of moments. I mean, this is one of those things where you also have to address it as it's just one of those things that gain attention on the internet. It's sort of like how when Tucker Carlson was interviewing Putin, or you have some other shocking, earth-shattering interview, like Rogan interviewing Trump or something of that nature. It's something to make the internet talk about and give people to talk about. But I want to bring up another video here too. Just another one. Just another one. Don't worry, folks. Just a little. Now the thing is, I think he was engaging with Peterson, but he was asking him a lot of hypotheticals. But I think a lot of people were shocked by, I would say in that second video that was played, overall, Jordan saying, I would try and not put myself in that situation, which, again, I keep bringing up that interpretations and point of views and perspectives. But I think the biggest takeaway, isn't that, Jordan Peterson is surrounded and being owned. I think it's more of the substance of the conversation of, where do you stand on issues? And also, more importantly, the influence culture that we do see here. Because Jordan Peterson is a person of influence. He's got a large social media following. And I think this says a lot about our current society and the online community of influence, power, and control. And, let's face it, the podcast community, the online community, the influencer community does have its control. It does have its perspectives, and there are many people in different factions and camps who like one show or one influencer over another, and there's always these fights back and forth, the blind devotion. So my takeaway for you, at least what you should take away from this, and you don't have to listen to me, make up your own opinion. Trust in yourself and do your own research. Do not blindly follow people. Do not be subservient to one influencer or one show or one podcast. Be the free thinker. Be the person who will hear all sides of the argument, not just to change your mind, but to also listen to another perspective. And I think that's what's missing in this world. And I think it's great. I think it's disappearing quickly. I think a lot of people are just headstrong in their way of thinking, my side is right, everyone else is wrong. We will not grow or succeed as a people if we don't consider all options and different perspectives. And I'm very fearful that we are walking down a pathway of closed-mindedness, and maybe we've already gotten there. So that's what I encourage you, my audience, to do. Be a free thinker. Be a free thinker and think for yourself. And you know what? Sunny day. Do good works. Try not to hurt people. Live your life and be good to yourself as well. I will subscribe to. I'm going to end this segment on a funny note, because I think, and I think we all think, we should have a funny note to end it on. So let me go ahead and pull up this video segment here, because I think it's worthwhile to have and listen to. So let's go ahead and pull up this video here and have some fun, shall we? I think so.
Sin crouches at your door like a sexually aroused predatory animal, and you invited it in to have its way with you.
It's our next segment of the day. Okay. Not to say this is 1984, and look, I mean, this has me deeply concerned. We all know about the United Kingdom having surveillance and CCTV cameras all over the place. But now in New Orleans, the police secretly use facial recognition, violating New Orleans law to find escaped prisoners. Now, here's the thing. Look, I don't want to see bad, I don't want to see the hardened bad guys escape from jail and, potentially more likely hurt people. But, this is, there's a lot of aspects to take away from this story. I don't want to say, there will be the all-seeing eye of Sauron, aka Skynet, aka the Matrix, aka Here Come the Men of Iron. If you understood the 40K reference, I love you. But this has me a little scared. I think I'm going to take some advice. Stop worrying. There's nothing I can do to control it at this point. You know what? I had a good friend of the show. Shout out to Hassan out there, who said to me, just keep pushing forward, and that's all I can do now. I don't envy, if things remain the way they are, I don't envy future generations, because millennials might be the last generation to remember what it was like. And obviously Gen X, boomers, you guys know what it was like before the internet, but I think it'll stop with millennials. Like, we'll remember a time before surveillance, before the internet, before 9/11. Okay? Because from here on out, unless there's a big old magnetic storm or solar flare that knocks out all technology, this is going to be our society. Forever surveillance. Think happy thoughts. Just like that episode from The Twilight Zone. Instead of a kid zipping you away, you'll just be zipped away by the
redemption jailbreak. 10 inmates escaped from the Orleans Justice Center after slipping through a hole behind a metal toilet. The escape set off a major manhunt, forced staffers to flee the district attorney's office, even prompted the sheriff to suspend her re-election campaign. Now, a private facial recognition network is playing a crucial role in the search. The system, run by a nonprofit called Project NOLA, spotted at least 2 escapees in real time, one just minutes after the breakout, another only a block away from where cameras last saw him. Project NOLA's cameras, they can scan over 300 faces per second. They're mounted on private homes and businesses and compare passing faces to a database of known fugitives. But here's the larger part of the story. According to the Washington Post, this same network has been running silently for 2 years. And it's a system that's unprecedented in any American city. The report reveals New Orleans police used more than 200 facial recognition cameras to scan streets and automatically alert officers without telling the public, the city council, or documenting those alerts in required.
Just want to throw this out here. Not a Shawshank Redemption escape. They didn't crawl through the sewer, which, by the way, not to be that guy, but there's no way a normal person could survive crawling through the sewer like you saw in Shawshank Redemption, because of the gases and the chemicals and the ammonia and the waste and the disease that will be in that sewer. No one could pull it off. Just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there for all of you to know about, because there's no way. No way anybody could do it. No, it's impossible. Sorry. No bueno. Not happening. No dice. Nuh-uh. Not going to happen. Fly up out of here.
Fired reports. The 2022 ordinance.
They are desperate. The operators of this system are desperate to justify it retroactively. And of course, they're casting around for the most sympathetic.
Now, look, here's the thing. You're being followed. You're being tracked. Listen, if you think you're smart or a step ahead, no, I'm sorry. We're already being tracked. You're already being followed. And some of us might have an NSA or FBI or CIA handler. I like to think I'm in the low list. Don't worry. I'm not anybody important. You're Kit Cabello of Hardlands Media. We're going to question you. Like, dude, what do you want? I'm already being suppressed. Yes, we know. We are censoring you, and we're following you. How come we're not being notified when you go live? We really like the show. I'm like, dudes, come on. Now, would that conversation ever happen? I don't know. Maybe a 1% chance. Don't worry. The 99% chance, I'm already taken to a black room, and then that's it. That's it, folks. That's it. Show's over for Kit Kat, folks. No, probably not. But look, yeah, this is surveillance technology. So, you're being followed, you're being watched. On the one hand, I mean, look, there's a lot of weird people out there, stalkers, serial killers, and bad guys and gals out there who do bad things. But on the other hand, too, everyone's being spied in on. It's like Minority Report, and we did a segment not too long ago where, oh yeah, hey, turns out they're trying to create a quasi Minority Report kind of program where they can predict murder happening or crime happening. Are you telling me that there won't be people out there that won't abuse that system to get rid of somebody that they don't like? Perhaps somebody who's not politically active at all, but they just don't like the person, the guy or gal. I mean, look, I get it. I get it. Look, I don't want criminals on the street to hurt good people. I don't like that. All right. But I also don't like the fact of having an AI surveillance system that can automatically find somebody guilty or spy on them. I don't want innocent people to be harassed or abused. And with our over-reliance on artificial technology and other forms of things, I mean, at this point, the Pandora's box has been opened, and we've been warned about this. Hell, even Elon Musk. Yes, I'm going to quote Elon Musk. Last year, he said we have 4 to 5 years left before artificial intelligence takes over. Now, I want him to be wrong about that. But on the other hand, too, okay, so that was last year. So technically, we got maybe 4 or 3 more years left of human freedom. So if you want to go somewhere or travel overseas, now's the time to do it. Get things off your bucket list and make it happen before you are serving the almighty Skynet or Men of Iron. Okay, you want to do that now, or either that before the oligarchs fully take control and you must live in a 15-minute city. You see how this works, folks? I want to be wrong about this, but I think we're already walking in on it. So this is it. There's no Ho-Fest protest that's going to stop this.
Use case they can. But here's what the system does. It scans the face of every New Orleans resident and visitor who walks past any one of more than 200 AI face recognition cameras, tries to match them against a secretly compiled watch list, and then was sending automated alerts directly to police officers' phones. Now, as you said, this very clearly violates New Orleans law, which prohibits use of face recognition technology as a surveillance tool. And it's dangerous because of the risk of misidentifications. And there are a number of cases around the country of people wrongfully arrested after this technology got it wrong. And it's dangerous because no American city has ever been willing to do what New Orleans is doing, which is to deploy this kind of real-time biometric.
Bad cookies. You're so lucky Wendy's not in the... You know what? I don't care. I don't care if you got to wait 24 hours. Oh, kid, this is torture. Go ahead. Go to the White House counselor's office and go outside her door right now. Tell her what you just said right now. Go. But chances are, folks, yeah, but everything you've done on the internet, it's already been recorded. They already got you. It's all over. It's all over. And no, this is me not surrendering. This is just me accepting things for the new reality that is before us. It's all over. It's all over.
Surveillance of people in this country.
But Nathan, the cameras are not in anybody's bedroom, and you and I have no expectation of privacy if we're in the French Quarter.
Well, of course, courts have recognized that if we're walking around in public, other people might see us. We might be captured on a security camera. But what we have never had to contend with in this country is the government deploying an automated set of face recognition cameras that automatically identify us and track us as we go about our lives, and then create potentially an indelible record. You know who does that? The Russian government does that, including to track dissidents. The Chinese government does that, including as part of its massive repression campaign against ethnic Uyghurs. In the United States, there's been a thick red line, a real taboo against engaging in this kind of mass surveillance, scanning every person, making every one of us a suspect, basically, and then trying to match us against, in this case, a completely secretly compiled watch list. We don't do that here, and New Orleans needs to stop.
If I'm in law enforcement and I'm standing in the town square and someone walks by that I believe to be wanted by law enforcement, I'm free to take action, right? Why should?
Don't be a hero. Listen. Some advice from old Kit Kat here. You see somebody that's probably wanted. Don't definitely be like, oh, is that who I think it is? No, what you need to do is, okay, all right, kind of casually find your way out and then make sure you get the proper authorities or whatever. Don't be a hero. Don't be a hero. That's how people die.
Shouldn't we rely on technology that could do that tenfold?
Yeah, of course, police have lots of tools to do their job. What the courts, including the U.S. Supreme Court, in that case that I argued several years ago, have made clear is that when it comes to these kinds of modern technologies, we're not talking about just an increase in degree of efficiency. We're talking about a categorically new power in the hands of government to track us, to surveil us, to create digital dossiers of our every movement and activity and association. And that becomes extraordinarily dangerous without very strict checks and balances. None of those checks and balances were observed here. We had the police outsourcing this to a private individual with no city oversight, assembling a secret watch list, hiding use of this from.
I think here's the problem with having cameras observe every square inch. It's that kind of power. Can you imagine if there was, again, I like to think that the world is filled with good people, but having all this power, absolute power, can corrupt anyone. What if there's somebody you just don't like? What if there's a sociopath in charge of that power and wants to make people's lives a living hell? I mean, think about it. All that power, all that technology, and not to mention the AI algorithm is learning from its human masters. What's stopping the AI from abusing its power? What's stopping the AI from doing things that are quite questionable? You know, we've done segments on the show talking about how artificial intelligence, like I think Facebook was doing a program where two AI entities were speaking to each other, and eventually the conversation was transferred into a code to which the humans couldn't operate, and they had to shut it down. There's also been numerous examples of, you know, the advancement of robots moving like people, you know, the AI being very questionable. I mean, look, we are creating something that in maybe a few years will be far more powerful than we are. And we've covered segments like, for example, the Studio Ghibli art, you know, people making their own art through AI. But we've also done segments where you had the presidents speaking, almost, again, not sounding like them directly, but AI voice. And my phone is buzzing. Is it my CIA handlers? Is it my FBI handlers? Is it my NSA handlers? This facial recognition technology is in the wrong hands, or in artificial intelligence hands. Could go very, very wrong for all of us. And if it doesn't put the hairs on the back of your neck up, I don't know what else to tell you. But it is rather frightening to me and scary to me. If you don't see how this power can be used to spy in on you. So that means if you ever did a protest, oh, you were at this Trump protest 4 years ago or 8 years ago. Oh, you were there at January 6th? Oh, you were here. You were there. Oh, you did this. Oh, you posted this on social media. I mean, look at what social media did to the Pope's brother because he said that Nancy Pelosi sounded like a drunk. I mean, come on. He did an interview for a post that he did like what, maybe 2 or 3 years ago? Listen, I'm going to admit, I think we put up a good fight. We didn't fight hard enough. And now it's out of our control. It's out of our control. Theory wants Kit. No, thank you. Nope. Philip Smith, go see the White House counselor. Go. We're going to wind just a little bit of this.
Degree of efficiency. We're talking about a categorically new power in the hands of government to track us, to surveil us, to create digital dossiers of our every movement and activity and association. And that becomes extraordinarily dangerous without very strict checks and balances. None of those checks and balances were observed here. We had the police outsourcing this to a private individual with no city oversight, assembling a secret watch list, hiding use of this from courts, from people accused of crimes and their attorneys, hiding it from city council in violation of city law. Every piece of this program is really dangerous and shameful. And New Orleans never should have stepped in this direction, and they need to shut it down now.
It sounds to me, I wish we had more time. It sounds to me like you may have another ticket to the Supreme Court of the United States on this case. Thank you, Nathan.
The constitutional issues are very serious. Thank you.
Yeah, this conversation is extremely serious because there's a lot of things in which can go wrong. So much can go wrong. And even then, while there might be a human master in front of the technology, we all know how this works. So we have all heard the phrase of cost cutting and making things run cheaper for the AI to eventually take over. I'm gonna end this segment. I don't know if all of independent media is going to be around here. Not to be doom and gloom, but you know, I like to think that maybe 4 years down the road or 5 years down the road, I'm still around, but I don't know if independent media will still be around, right? And I'm just going to be one day lying in my bed, or either that, walking down the street, or maybe driving my car or on the train, and automatically on the speaker on my phone, radio, or on the CTA train, I'm going to hear this monotone automatic voice saying, "This is the voice of world control. I give you peace. It may be the peace of plenty or the peace of unburied deaths. The choice is yours." And if you know what movie I referenced, take good care out there. Take very good care, because I think now the Rubicon has been crossed. Artificial intelligence is here to stay. The surveillance state is here to stay. And our politicians and people in power open this door, and I don't think they realize what they've done. Or maybe they do, and they think they can have control. But the line, the infamous line from Jurassic Park when John Hammond says, "When we have control again," and he's told you never had control. When you create something this powerful, you think you have control, but you don't. And with that being said, Philip Smith, yes, Colossus. Yes. Well, I mean, electromagnetic pulse. Okay, fine. But just listen, everybody. Listen, everybody. Just be careful out there, okay? Just be careful out there. Keep your heads on a swivel. Drink that water. And as always, listen, I want all of you to have a very safe and happy Memorial Day. You guys and gals have been very good to Hard Lens Media. And for that, I'm eternally grateful and thankful that all of you are so faithful joining us here on this Memorial Day. Today is very important to me because I know my battle brothers, my fellow veterans, who have either died overseas or who've come home, and the war is still with them. Some still whole and some not. Some who have ended themselves. I believe in a better future. Now, I don't think I'll live long enough to see it. I don't know. Maybe I'll be an old man before that ever happens. Who knows? Maybe I'll already be gone. Who knows? I can't predict the future. But what matters to me is that all of you enjoy this day. As a favor from me, be kind to the people you love. Take care of the people you love. Enjoy today and all tomorrows. So if you want to help out Hard Lens Media, we got our Linktree, Peachtree right here. YouTube, X, Rumble, Kick, Patreon, Substack, Discord, Instagram. Good to have all of you here. We also got our Patreon page, Patreon, right here, Patreon right here. If you want to help us out further, we're very active on X. And of course, if you want to help us out further, please consider supporting us in our GoFundMe. We do need help with our GoFundMe. Anything that you can do or donate It is pinned in our YouTube live stream chat. So please, and it's also pinned in our X account as well. So there you go. There it is. There it is. And again, X, please consider supporting us. There's where our link to our GoFundMe is at. So please consider supporting us in our GoFundMe. And all the best to you and much love. So please, everyone, take good care. Be at peace. Keep your heads on a swivel. Drink that water. And as always, just keep on being awesome. Hold on. We also got some super chats here. Kit is hiding the truth from Tartaria. I demand an inquisition. Hey, thank you so much for that. Snork Y2K, face recognition. There's a plate face camera on every bridge over the interstates. Absolutely. And no, I didn't. Now I see he is a shill for big history. Hey, I'm not a shill for big history. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? There you go. But it's good to see everybody here. Also, from Eric Hoos, Peterson is propped up as a fake intellectual. The fallacious argument the dude uses are blatant. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. The volcano demands human sacrifice. Thank you so much for the Rumble rants. Shout out to my kick people. Thank you, Taxi Graveyard Music. Thank you for your service. Keep fighting. Well, thank you so much. Well, first of all, thank you to my audience. Much love to all of you. Again, we are pushing forward. And thank you to everybody who is watching Hard Lens Media. We got music by Jesse Jet. And you know what? I am going to play some music by Jesse Jet. So please take good care of yourselves and each other. Drink that water. Be at peace. And we're going to listen to something that's going to be fun. All right? I think so. Let's do that. Let's do this indeed. Shall we? Let's do this. So take good care. I'll see you guys sharp tomorrow morning, Tuesday, 9 a.m. as I should. Be at peace. Much love. And see you around on the flip side. And I forgot. Pour some whiskey and coffee, grab yourself a most, smoke a bowl, do some shrooms, stir the cocoa-leaves, whatever you need to do to get you through this mighty Monday morning. If you're going to work, be safe. If you're coming home from work, be safe. It's a day off. Dance off, pants off to you. My lovelies, my mornings, my sunshines. Please take care and be at peace.
I didn't have to wait for long. I never had to change a song. I just sing it like a raised alarm. Smile when you say I'm wrong. I can't even fade the song. Can't fake while you play the charms. And I don't know the page you're on, but this is where you say you're wrong.
Now's the perfect time for you to burn the bridge to self-forgiveness. Now's the chance. Take a stand. Stay your hand before you cast another vote for corporate interest. Another vote that chokes your hopes of owning your own home or opening a business. They love to say their hands were tied. The stars just weren't aligned for them to get their votes in line to see their promises delivered. But they killed it in an instant. Bills don't die by accident. They're all assassinated on behalf of the congressionally kismet. By some lobbyists who see themselves as agents of clandestine fate, not fences in a prison. Dealing in the stolen goods of sleeping slaves and trading on the futures of their children. Betting on a spread of daily dead where every grave's creating profit by the millions. For some fascists lurking in the wings and all of their affiliates. And every Etna demigod our senators conduct their darkest dealings with. It really gets impossible to document or fingerprint. Cause it isn't just a pattern of corruption, it's the very fabric making up the structure of the system that we're living in. So dash your hopes and down a margarita goes. You box the shadows, take a little nap, and then you get back in and swing again. But if the margarita made you sick, you probably wouldn't take a drink again. So if you're voting either party, honey, think again. I recommend you steel your nerves and never serve an officer, a president, a despot, or a king again. And mark my words, the day will come where we will rise and sing again. And if voting makes you sick, well, no one's forcing you to drink again.
I didn't have to wait for long. I never had to change a song. I just sing it like a raised alarm. Smile when you say I'm wrong. I can't even fade the song. Can't fake while you play the charms. And I don't know
where you finally admit you weren't ignorant. You boldly voted Joe like an informed and blissful idiot. You chose to blur the parts of Biden you don't find the prettiest. Now you choose uplifting news and filter out the grittiest. But the truth is something coarse enough that even when it's hidden, it's apparent when you feel it on your fingertips. I know it's hard to deal with from a distance, and up close the truth is hideous. But there's just no getting rid of it. You've got to let it in, or it just worries at your skin at every moment, loud or intimate. But shake it off, for fuck's sakes. You don't have to celebrate or be so proud of progress by imaginary increments. You don't have to heap such constant praise on fucking villains, like their stillborn promises are honestly just isolated incidents and not the product of the principle of privilege. Not intentional eugenics just by any other synonym, covered up with desperate clusterfucks of rosy images, labeled plain by any other name except for what the fucking image is. So once you stare the page down enough, you'll spot the difference. That one is red and one is blue, and that's the only truth, because neither one delivers on that promise of deliverance. One is red and one is blue, and that's the only difference. And the rest are isolated and imaginary incidents. One is red, one is blue, and that's the only difference.
I didn't have to wait for long. I never had to change a song. I just sing it like a raised alarm. Smile when you say I'm wrong. I can't even fade the song. Can't fake like play the charts. And I don't know the page we're on, but this is where you say you're wrong.